Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm so glad that you're joining me for these messages. It just brings me so much joy to read your cards. Speaking of, my calendar is now open for personal readings. The link for that is in the description below. Of course, anything you could ever want to know about this reading is going to be in the description below. And honestly, that's really all I have. I'm not even sure what decks we're going to be using yet. I just started getting that poking feeling last night to start putting out messages again. So that's what we're going to do. And this is probably the quickest intro I've ever done, but let's get into it. Hello. Again, I'm pretty sure I said that in the intro. It's just habit. We're shuffling up the cards. I generally do this off camera, but for whatever reason, I felt like, doing it on camera too, and we go where the energy takes us if it feels good. So for whatever reason, okay, so we have an oracle deck and we have a tarot deck, and they're both the Everyday Witch. Everyday Witch Oracle, Everyday Witch Tarot. So before we get there though, let's see, okay. Let's see who's next. 6-2. Alrighty, so, I usually have content or there we go, so a website pulled up where I can just give you a little blurb of the profile, and this time I didn't have that ready to go. So then when I realized that, I started looking around and I found, there's a lot of great information out there, but just nothing was quite hitting the spot. So I'm just trusting that it may not just be a big part of the message this time around. Of course, the 6th line is the role model line, and the big thing to know about the 6th line is that there's 3 tiers to it. So from the time you're born until your Saturn return, that usually ends around 30-ish. The 6th line acts as a 3. And the 3rd line is all about trial and error. It's making and breaking bonds with people, with experiences, with jobs, with friendships. It's bumping up against life experience. I think I might have just said that. But it's all for the purpose of information. You have to kind of go through those experiences, and it can be, unfortunately, chaotic at times, dismantling at times. And then after your Saturn return, you go on the roof, is what they call. And from the time that you're about 30 until your 2nd Saturn return, or sometime in your 50s, you are on the roof. And that's more of an observation type. You're starting to unpack the first 30 years, maybe a little therapy, self-help books, really kind of sifting through the experiences, the relationships that you had. And it's also a time for personal growth. You're making decisions about career, family, settling down, right? So you might find yourself retreating a bit. And then after about 50-ish, you come off of the roof. And at that point, that's when the role model is expressed. And it's more so about living your life authentically and how, you become an example for other people. And sure, if you want to get up on a stage, it certainly can be that, motivational speaker, if that's where your path ends up taking you. but it's more so using the knowledge that you gained in the first 30 years, using your understanding that you unpacked of those experiences in the second phase of life. And also, kind of helping guide people through their own experiences. And then you have the second line, Hermit, on the unconscious side. So, recognizing the need to rest and retreat in order to really kind of get your hands into the things that you find an interest in. The second line has that inherent genius or inherent talent. It's kind of the easy peasy line where, there might be some things or a lot of things that just kind of come naturally to you. And the Hermit line is also about making your space like really comfortable. Like the worst thing for a hermit is to be in a space that, like I said, doesn't feel comfortable to them, doesn't have like a nice flow of energy, doesn't have, like where you can literally hermit out and rest and rejuvenate and get away from people. And also there's a little bit of a projection that comes with the second line, because people see that there is just kind of an innate gift that you have, or just an innate talent, that things may come a little bit easier to you, even if you don't see it yourself. So they might project onto you that, hey, you're really good at this, you should get involved in this. So, and then that kind of creates this, hesitation around people. Sometimes, of course, not everybody. But anyway, what else do I want to mention about the 6-2? I can't think of anything else, but if something else comes to me, we'll talk about it. Look. How perfect is this? I hope you can see it. I can't see the camera screen. Hibernation and regeneration. This is very Hermit line. This is also being on the roof. So you might be in the stage of life that you are on the roof. This could even just be a reminder about needing that time away, needing to honor the hermit in you. And I love that there's all these crystals around them. I mean, they're literally in a cave, but there's these crystals around. So again, that regeneration thing, you could be working with crystal magic, or using stones as a way to transmute energy or cleanse your own energy. That is so funny. We just need six tarot cards. And of course, we only take the cards that fall out. We have the 2 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands, 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Wow, one more. That was kind of funny how that came out. And we have the Hanged Man. Oh my gosh. And then the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Cups. The Fool. Wow. Okay. Let me just make sure everything is in frame and then we'll get into it. Okay. It's interesting because we have the 2 of Cups to start. And that is the only card that has 2 people on it, which is very interesting to me. So let's just start from the beginning. This hibernation and regeneration, that could be something that you have been doing recently, honoring, that hermit, honoring the second stage of being on the roof. I mean, you certainly don't have to be in the second stage, but just mentioning that, I mean, you could be coming up on that. I know Saturn just moved into Pisces, so if your natal Pisces, or if your natal Saturn is in Pisces, then you would be starting your Saturn return over the next, 2.5 or 3 years. So again, I mean, this could be something that you have been in for a while, It could be an invitation to go into this mode a little bit, recognizing to that. And I feel like this would be something, especially with your profile, I feel like this would be something that you would recognize, regardless of what type you are, right? I mean, whether you're sacral or not, because sacral beings can still be burnt out and still need to rest and regenerate. Like I said, we start with the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups talks about shared values, shared morals. It's, meeting somebody who has a shared vision, even. Cups having to do with our emotions. So, it could be sharing love or affection with somebody else. And of course, that can be anywhere from romantic, platonic to business. But also, both parties are going to show up to this partnership with a full glass. They're going to show up with their own Ace of Cups. So there's this equal reciprocity thing. Like there's not one person that's giving or taking more than the other. And we can see in this card that their glasses are pretty much about even. There's also, this cat down here is offering this fish to this cat here. So there could even just be multiple benefits to this relationship. And again, right? I mean, it could be family. It could be the relationship that you have even with yourself. This could be, the experiences that the sixth line in the first tier, the first stage of life, those experiences that you bump up against, making and breaking bonds, learning. Whatever it is, though, the Eight of Cups is saying that you're walking away from it. There is some level of detachment there, which is also very much part of the learning part of being a role model. It's, also understanding when it is time to detach from something. The Eight of Cups recognizes that what is in these cups here, it's like the energy has been used or depleted or whatever the case may be, but it's like the energy of the relationship has run its course in some capacity. And they're making a decision to move on, to move past it. And it's almost like in this cup here, the remaining flame or fire, because there's smoke coming out of it. So whatever was remaining recently burned up. Or it could have been you making that decision to blow out the flame, which is really pretty interesting. And that could even be why this hibernation and regeneration thing is coming out too, because if you have been in a relationship for an extended period of time, whatever that relationship was, and if it has taken a lot out of you or brought you a lot of lessons and experiences and a lot of emotional I can't think of the word stuff. Like, I don't want to say emotional damage because there's not necessarily anything on here that's indicating that this even is ending on a bad note. It certainly can be, but like we don't have the Three of Swords. We don't have the Seven of Swords. We don't have, like kind of those cards that would indicate a less amicable ending. This feels more like just recognizing that what you need or even what you want out of your life, your experience, your feelings is different now. And this relationship may not just be giving it. And again, I know I keep saying it, but relationship can be anything from romantic, friendship. It could be your family. It could be the job that you've had, the business that you run, even business partnerships, networking. And then we have the Knight of Swords here. And the Knight of Swords is like the fastest moving knight in the deck. Swords having to do with our thoughts, our mind, our intellect, truth, honesty. It's ego also, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And the Knight of Swords is like charging towards a new idea. There's, some sort of new inspiration. And there's also this determination here. Maybe even being a bit impulsive. Their face, and I don't know if you can hopefully, see it, but their face again is determined. This cat is like, eyes are wide open, and they're just along for the ride, holding on for dear life, right? These birds are all scattering out of the way. It's like nothing, once this happens, once you make this decision, it's like nothing is going to stop you moving forward. That could have even been why that this hibernation and regeneration card is out. And like I said, if you've been in that for a while, it's like you have really been giving yourself some time to decide what you want to do here. This could also be a heads up to really try to save as much energy as you can, because whatever this is, like whatever you are heading towards, it's going to take a burst of energy. It's going to require, a lot of energy from you. This could even be somebody coming into your life. This could be somebody bringing you a new idea, something exciting. And then we have the Nine of Cups. And I'm like obsessed with this because the 8, and I always say this, anytime the 8 of Cups comes up, I'm always like, the 8 of Cups made a decision to walk towards the 9 of Cups. That's what they're walking away from this thing, because they recognize that there is something else. There's some area of their life that they're not feeling fulfilled. I don't know if you can hear those dogs barking outside. I apologize if you can. They've been barking since like 6:30 this morning. It's like 2:30 now. Not like all day straight through, but a lot of the day. Anyway, the 8 of Cups is walking towards the 9 of Cups. This is wish fulfillment. And this is, the 9s are when we individually recognize or feel the energy of the suit. So this is you feeling fulfilled. There's this level of contentment and peace here, satisfaction. Okay, sorry. I was going to try to wait them out, but that's okay. Hopefully it's just not that annoying to you. The 9 of Cups is about, it's like literally going after what you want. And also having the confidence to do that. There's that saying that self-love is the ultimate act of rebellion. That's what the 9 of Cups is. Going after your goals, your aspirations, literally as an act of self-love. Recognizing too that you don't need either, the validation from somebody else. You don't need the help, the assistance. Maybe to some degree, but it's like recognizing something within yourself that you're ready to leave the nest, if you will. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which is like that spark. It could be the spark of life. It could be the spark of passion and desire. There's a creativity aspect to it. It talks about, wands talk about communication, the actions that we're taking. It kind of looks like they are manifesting here. And it's really it has this feeling of the sky's the limit. This can even be getting clear on what it is that you do want to focus on. It is an ace, so it is a new beginning to a certain degree, but it's, it could be something new coming into your existence, or it could even be like revisiting something. This could even be a messenger. Like this figure could be this messenger on the Knight of Swords. So this could even be, somebody comes into your life, and again, it could even be somebody that you know. But there's something, some sort of message here that it's almost like it gives you the green light here to walk away from something, because it is like, maybe it's something that you have had a strong emotion for an extended period of time, or it's going to put you into this Nine of Cups energy. And then we end with the Hanged Man, which is kind of funny because the Hanged Man talks about willful suspension. I'm kind of curious what the book actually has to say. It can talk about delay. It says, just because you haven't moved in ages doesn't mean you're stuck. Oh, wait. Yes, it does. And that could be this could be analysis paralysis. This could be trying to take on more than you can chew. It says, no one is ever truly stuck, but there are definitely times when it feels like it. The Hanged Man shows up in a reading to remind us that if we hit a wall, sometimes the only way out is to go over or around instead of through. That may require that you stop banging your head against it long enough to figure out a completely different approach. But clearly, whatever you've been doing hasn't been working. Where in your life are you stuck? Try looking at the situation from a new angle or with a better attitude. You can do something to get yourself unstuck, or you can simply accept that you are stuck right now and see if there are any benefits to be had from simply hanging around for a while. This is kind of interesting because I really kind of get this feeling that you may be worried that whatever this Ace of Wands is going, you're going to end up stuck or trapped again, or like putting yourself into a box. But also, again, the Hanged Man does have this thing about seeing things from a different perspective. And what's even better is that they have a key in their hand right here. There's the lock. So it's almost like recognizing that this, whatever this is a step up. It's a stepping stone. It doesn't have to be a box if you don't want it to be. And there's always a way out. Like it was saying, you could choose to go around the wall or go over it instead of banging your head against it. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is awesome. And the Ace of Cups, their cup is overfull to the point where it's spilling out. But it's also, it's spilling out. It's watering this plant down here. The cat is drinking water out of it. The Ace of Cups is this message about your cup being so full that you do have enough energy, enough love, enough capacity to share it with another person. And that's when we move on to the Two of Cups. And then somebody else with their Ace of Cups, they come into the picture. You both have your overflowing Ace of Cups. So it's really pretty cool because we start with the Two of Cups, which says that you have been in some sort of situation. And now there's this new situation beginning through this journey. We have the Knight of Cups. This is an offer, whether it's an offer being made to you or you giving the offer. It could be an apology. But, we have all these hearts coming out of that cup. So it's definitely something that is coming from the heart space. There's this little warning down here because there's a shark. So, this person is a little bit, delusional, but also delusion isn't even a bad thing. It's just a heads up, that There may be, just to kind of like check your surroundings, basically. The Ten of Wands, Page of Swords, and then the Fool. The Ten of Wands talks about burden and overwhelm, but the 10 signifies the end. That's the end of the overwhelm. They are walking uphill. I see the Ten of Wands as being those experiences that you picked up along the way from the Ace through the 10. And it's deciding to take those experiences, take that knowledge, and move on with it, even if it is an uphill battle. We have the Page of Swords. There's these books and a scroll here, kind of like what we see on this Ace of Wands. Swords, again, having to do with our minds. It's new ideas, putting a new idea into practice. It could be looking at things with a different perspective. We have the Hanged Man here. But it's putting that new perspective into practice and seeing if it carries any weight. And then the Fool, brand new beginning. And look who we have. Brand new beginning. Taking a leap of faith. And then we have the Hermit card. Lots of stuff about, Hermit. So be sure, and again, no matter what type you are, be sure that you are getting enough rest. Be sure that you are checking in with your strategy and authority, because your strategy and authority is going to be the thing that helps you enter into the correct experiences for you. Your profile is how you navigate the energy of those experiences. So they go hand in hand. So definitely check in with that too. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.